Thanks for your company. We are coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomlemle, Accra, on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 144, and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The Member of Parliament for the Infantaman constituency, Eko Kwansa Hayford, has been shot dead. Now, according to information reaching JoyNews, he was shot on the Abeadze Domenase Abeadze Duaze Mankisim Road. On his return from a campaign trip, he is believed to have been attacked at about 1 a.m. Friday morning by six armed highway robbers, according to an eyewitness report. While the robbery was ongoing, the MP identified himself. This allegedly infuriated the robbers, who blamed him for the problems being faced by the people there. He was shot twice, leading to his demise. Now, some of his constituents have been reacting to the unfortunate incident.
Over 8 years, so to Victoria Park. Over 3 years, or 4 years. Victoria Park. Brother, won't go Victoria Park. Yes, that's a fine. I went to Yame. Come. Sister, what my affair? And tell me, you walk up on some. What's no social. I'm one chain. You pop out. I'm one chain. It's done. I want to walk by your Onye nyemeda onye na ndisi onye na NPP o bia na de bi sadekwa papa yo hwede yim na che wanja no mo ne nam ne beebi wanja ma ko ne nam ne beebi ni yare ya politics onko ni na politics onko do ba o yi po ku ne na ya ku ba yi no da hata ya ku ba yi no da hata ya te o ya to ma ya ja e fa to ma ya pad papa e fa to ma ya pad papa o bu ja no hwede ma o bia na ya MP wanja bi tu
Let's now hear from an eyewitness.
$37.45. Our car. Then the about was it. It's the branch of Mankasim road be at it's excellent in another Fado. The road no more as soon or my beam, you know, as a kind motion. See about baby the Domrance won't fancy. Hello,
Bacho Yetio.
Ahoy, baby the Domrance. A whole over phone was sunny, and the answer my year. China for you, or my quine, I'm a ball, we be a horma, or more horma, a quine. See a buyer, the ma bear say, the bar bears 100 meters away to the incidents, you know. And I drive and who say, cast not packet. The weapon over here fast, then or 10 a to the Mankasim. I say, Obia Echo, the about was no, to whom he says, 10 a or suddenly chair, Mankasim back. To one, you say a two akasa, or you can't pay more than 3-4 times. Another one catches I'm robbers. See the air, okay, Munino, Ubia, sir, you, Ubia Siki, to the near bonfire, say, about the Moya now, when you face incidents because
and now Mokani, the MP, Neka, Nechiana, Neka Casna, to Quine home.
You can't only MP Carnegie.
Okay.
Yeah, say your name road no so echo. Yeah, traffic from Obuasi to Accra to Obuasi.
Okay.
You see, yeah, as a copy at the end of so. And see not like cars not packet. Into whom said traffic, you know, a block is on. Who said be across it. For 1 year fast and not 10 years.
Okay.
Because that I know your Obuasi driver, it will him road no so.
So you just had an eyewitness. He was in a different vehicle and they saw what happened. He was just briefly explaining to us what he witnessed in a local dialect. But we also heard from an eyewitness who spoke to my colleague Richard Kojunyako. What he says is that he was with the MP. They were confronted by these robbers. The robbers took some items from them. According to this eyewitness, the MP then identified himself as the MP for the Infantiman constituency, and the response from one of the armed robbers was that we've actually been looking for you. You're part of the reason some of us are struggling, and then they shot him twice. And he tells us that after the shooting, the MP requested for water and was pronounced dead later when they took him to the hospital. We are trying to reach our correspondent, Richard Kojunyako. We have him now to explain to us more, only because we heard them in local dialect, for those of us who do not understand the local dialect. Richard, so briefly tell us what constituents and eyewitnesses have been saying. Hello, Richard.
Well, Benis, the narrations have been with respect. Hello, Benis.
We can hear you.
Hello, Benis. Hello, Benis.
Please go on.
You can hear me? Okay, so what we've been told of the narrations say that the MP identified himself when the robbers approached. The other narration was that the robbers asked who is called Kwanzaa Hayford. And to that, they said that, well, you are part of the people that have made Ghana very difficult to live in. And so they shot him from the back. So we are told that it was on the spine. When the police came, he was lying in a pool of blood. They had to carry all of them. But 2 people are currently injured at the Southern Government Hospital. One, a truck driver. So the driver, the vehicle that was parked, that was stationary. The driver is also sustained some injuries. And then the driver of the MP also sustained some injuries. So a short while ago, the regional police commander, Habiba Chumesi Sapon, led a crack team of police investigators to the scene of the incident. Now the place has been barricaded. They say that crime scene management is currently under control, and they are assuring the general public that they do everything they can to hunt down the suspects that were involved in this dastardly act. Back here at the family house, scores of people continue to troop to the residence of this member of parliament for this particular area. They say that they cannot understand, they cannot even put together words to describe what their ears heard this morning and what their eyes have seen. They say the man is down to earth. The man has been on top of the developmental agenda of this particular constituency. They cite roads, they cite how he relates with the ordinary people on the street, the young, the rich, the old, and everybody. So you see the account, how the testimonies they are giving about this man is I mean, it pains them. They cannot even hold themselves. Others sprawled on the ground, wailing uncontrollably. So they want justice to be done. They want government to intervene to ensure that swiftness is really at the door of everything that is done today to ensure that the perpetrators are brought to book. They are also, however, divided. They do not know whether it's internal politics that has led to this or someone from their political space that has also contributed to this. But they are saying that if for any replacement, the wife of this member of parliament should be replaced, should replace the husband. And so these are the concerns and these are the demands of the people that have gathered in the house of the former member of parliament for this area.
Richard, you just mentioned his wife. Tell us more about who this MP is. We understand that he's the only child and his mother is still alive. Just give us some more details on who he is and the family and loved ones he's left behind.
Well, so yes, he's the only child and he's married. He was born on the 24th of December, 1970. So coming December on the 24th, this member of parliament would have been 50 years. He has 2 children and we do not really know the ages of these children. But when we entered the residence, there were so many people, you cannot even pinpoint who is a family member, who is a close associate, or the other. But we are told that the wife has been taken to an unknown destination because of how heavy this news has been to her. And so the family members are still managing the situation. You can see vehicles upon vehicles coming in and driving out of the residential facility. It's as if that the entire town of Mankesim is at the residential facility here. They say that the man is carrying the roads he's constructed. Even on that particular stretch of road that this incident happened, this man was trying to fix it, and so currently there are contractors on that particular stretch of the road. But Benis, this particular stretch of the road, this is not the first time an incident of this has happened. About a year ago, there was some armed robbery incident on this particular stretch of the road. You know, the road is not tarred, it is not good, it is not really more trouble, but it is the shortest cut to, if you want to go to Kumasi and you are driving from Accra, you take that route and you get to Abrodunko, and then you can have, and the place is not also lit at night, and so that is where the vehicle spoiled. And so when they drove to that place, the MP's driver had wanted to, use a small way, a narrow way that was left, but in the process, the robbers shot the driver, immobilized the vehicle, and then got to all the occupants in that particular vehicle. The constituency vice chairman was in this vehicle, as well as the member of parliament, plus the driver. So they had gone to campaign, but we were told that the rest of the campaign team left earlier. So they got to Mankesim around 11:30 p.m. and the MP assured them that they will be back. So when they even came back, the MP called them whether they are safely back home. And then they said that they are safely back home, only for the MP not to return to the town.
Richard, you said police say they are investigating the matter and they would get back to us later, right?
Yes, the police are investigating the matter. In fact, the regional minister, who is the head of the Regional Security Council, is on his way to this place. In fact, in the morning, they held a series of meetings when the incident broke. They were the first people who were informed about it by the family members, and so they rushed to the scene they rushed to the hospital, and the body of the MP has been transferred from the Sopon Government Hospital to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, and currently the police team that visited the scene is at the Sopon Government Hospital, ensuring that those who got injured also have some care, taking care of them.
All right, thank you very much. Richard Kojunyako is a Central Region correspondent. He's coming to us from the residence of the late Ekokwansa Hayford, MP from Fantaman constituency, who was attacked this morning by highway robbers and killed in the process. And we'll leave it here for now, Richard Kojunyako. But Majority Leader Osei Mensah Bonsu had this to say about the late MP and emphasized the need to beef up securities for MPs, particularly during this campaign season.
Well, Eko, when he first came to Parliament, I met and congratulated him. I did so in my capacity as the Majority Leader. Don't forget, after what's the name? Our current Asamoah Boateng. After Asamoah Boateng battled it out and won for us a Fantaman seat, when Comfort, my senior sister, the NDC, he was a deputy whip. The first name is Comfort. I've forgotten the second name, the surname. When Asamoah Boateng battled her and won for MPP, we couldn't retain it, and we lost it again. Kwanzaa emerges to win, and you could see that he was a local politician, and people loved him. So, as far as the constituency is concerned, there are several reports about how he's doing well in the constituency, the affection that he's courting to himself and also for the party. So it's something that we should all be proud of. In Parliament, he was not one of the must-talk persons. But when we had reports from committees and he contributed, he was spot on. I was always encouraging him to be much more prominent in the House than he had been. But whenever he rose up to contribute to a matter, he did so well. And so, except that he was not the loquacious types, a man of few words on whatever he did. So it's a tragic loss to the family, to the party, to Parliament as I've already alluded to the country. We have ministers in the system. They come, when they are appointed, we offer them protection. Why can't we do the same for the members of Parliament? We should recognize that all fingers are not the same. We should recognize that. And yet we have people perhaps informed by envy or jealousy or whatever. The members of Parliament are not different from us. They are representatives, so leave them. I know ultimately our protection is in the hands of God. However, sometimes, as I said in Akan, you say, in other words, it is the fear that the animal injects into people that wards off intruders. So sometimes the mere presence of a policeman would ward off such intruders, knowing perhaps that the policeman is armed and that if you attempt anything, perhaps he would act proactively.
Okay.
I think that as a nation we should be thinking about that. But what has happened is most unfortunate.
You have the Majority Leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, and he was speaking to my colleague Winston Amon on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's head to Parliament now. Our correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo is there for us. Joseph, what's the mood in Parliament this morning?
Well, to probably gauge the mood, I have a number of MPs here. Sitting hasn't started on the floor yet, but they've been having a conversation on this and how they are sad as far as this development is concerned. I have Honorable Mubarak, I have Honorable here for Honorable Samuel Aipe is here. The Honorable Agboja is also here. Let me begin with Honorable Agboja. This development about the death of your colleague, Eko Hayford, how is the news coming to you?
Very shocking, my brother. Eko, we all know, very affable, young gentleman, wouldn't hurt a fly. Just to be told that there was this incident on his way from the constituency and he's been killed. I was just telling my colleague, the story doesn't even add up to me. It doesn't make sense to me that you kill an MP in this situation. And we are waiting to hear the facts of the story. What we've heard so far doesn't add up to me at all. It's just a very sad day for his family, Parliament, and for the country. I mean, it will call back into focus. Are we all safe? I understand. Everybody in the country needs to be protected. But there's a reason we give extra protection to the President of the Republic. He's also just a human being. There's a reason we give protection to ministers. There's a reason we give this protection to chief executives. But the discussion about giving protection to the 275 people who represent all of us always becomes an issue of they don't deserve it or something like that. And guess what? This is not the first time, and Parliament is going to sit this morning. We're going to read a statement. We're all going to say this and go back to the same point. And it's very sad. It's either we want a democracy and protect it, or we don't want it.
Bennett, let me get a quick sense from an NPP MP, the Honorable Samuel Aipe. He's also the chairman of the Road Committee here in Parliament. Honorable Aipe, how did this news come to you? Particularly
very sad news. Very sad news. May I first sympathize with the family, his family, the wife, the children. Too, is the only child of the mother, and the mother is alive, and that's very sad. Looking at the situation and listening to the narration from the eyewitness, show clearly that there's more need to be investigated. We need to get more information on actually what happened, because according to the eyewitness information, he got shot as soon as he identified himself as a member of Parliament. So it's important. And he wasn't alone. The driver was there and two other people. None of them was killed. It was when he introduced himself as an MP that he was shot at.
In fact, in one of the narrations, the claim is that when he identified himself as the MP, the third shooter said that you are the people making the country a difficult place.
What I heard is that the person said, you are the people making things difficult for us. And it may also translate to mean that maybe the government is very critical on armed robbers these days. And that is the understanding I'm getting from this. But I think it's important to look at the security of MPs again. Other than that, the point will come, nobody will be interested in parliament.
Does it scare you? Does it
Exactly.
especially after
Exactly. I'm working in my constituency, and at times I have to travel late in the night to and from the constituency. And when things of this nature happen, it's difficult because it puts fears in members of parliament. It affects the discharge of our responsibilities as members. Now, what is going to happen is that we've been instructed by our various leadership not to travel late in the evening. And it will definitely affect our work. It is important we look at how best we can get security protection for the members of parliament. Also, members of parliament, we have to get some workshops to train us. I think some time ago, in the parliament or so, there was this training for members of parliament how to react when you are under attack. But in the situation of ECHO, he's a former deputy commissioner.
I'm just hearing that he's a policeman who rose to the rank of a deputy commissioner before he came to parliament.
You can't tell me ECHO doesn't know what to do when it comes to situations like this. So it's very sad, but we let us slow in commenting on it and see what the investigators will bring out very soon. I want to plead with the police and the investigation team to quickly do something about it. The communities and all those who can volunteer information to the police should do that, so that at the end of the day we can arrest. And because some of us, when we sit down and find out that J.B. Dankwedu, the alleged killers of J.B. Dankwedu are still moving on the court happened, and we simply don't get. And then to Professor Bennett, how can a cleaner, somebody that's been employed by the professor, to pay you, and you kill the person because of 450 Ghana, the old 4.5 million, 450, somebody who has learned and gone through the system to become a professor, and through him you have your daily meal, and you say you are killing him for what? At times, you don't understand some of these issues.
And a bit about the directive from leadership that campaign at 9. And
not campaign, movement. Okay. We have to restrict our movement, especially during
the. How affect how you get the work done in task responsibility?
I'm saying
sometimes in parliament sits and close very late into the night.
Exactly. I quite remember some time ago I slept in my office because we closed around 1. Where I stay, I have to sleep in my chair in an office and go to the house the next day. So, and I know members of parliament who check in nearby hotels at night. And there's the need for us to have security. Yes, it is important, even in parliament here. I don't think, yes, we have the policemen, we see them around, but though I'm not an security expert, but at times when you see their actions and movement up and down, I think more needs to be done.
Right, that's Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, our parliamentary correspondent, speaking there to MP for Ayensiano constituency in the Eastern region, Samuel Ayepai, and he's just talking about or reacting to the news of the death of his colleague, MP for Infantiman constituency. And just some brief information about the MP who's just passed. You just heard, he was a former police officer. He worked in the Ghana Police Service between 1993 and 1998. This is first time in Parliament, and he was a member of the Judicial Committee and the Defense and Interior Committees as well.